Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. I hope you can hear me clearly. Please signify if you can hear me. Good morning. I'm Yetunde Olufemi. Welcome to PR Campus Summit with Nigerian Women in PR. We are live today at University of Ilorin, and I'm definitely sure it's going to be an enlightening session because uh, right away, we are getting started fully, and I would like to start by introducing the community, Nigerian Women in PR, to us. I effect for here. Can you please signify or publicize to your colleague that we are live so they can join us? I guess there is a mix up somewhere, and please let.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. I did already, but I guess maybe because today's Saturday or something, some of them are still busy with some stuff and are not online yet. But I already sent the message out, personally message them now as well.
Thank you very much. So right about now, we're going fully into the program, and I'll start by introducing the community to us. What is Nigerian Women here? What do we do as an whole in the community? So Nigerian Women in Peer is a social impact organization targeted at celebrating Nigerian women in public relations and communications at home and abroad. It's a community founded to challenge the status quo, and we are saddled with the mission to build a robust network of competent and qualified Nigerians in public relations and communication industry at all levels of the profession, and to improve access to opportunities. So we aim at building a network, an interconnected network whereby people in women in public relations can connect to and network, get to meet each other and leverage on that opportunity. And the community has about 600 members located all over the world. So, irrespective of where you're currently based, Nigerian Men in PR is a community you can belong to. provided you're a woman of Nigerian descent. And we have different. So we do this, we achieve our goal via various initiatives like the Experiencing PR Initiative. The Experiencing PR Initiative is a global conference that comes up every first quarter to discuss challenges. Miriam, can you please mute your interferencing? Is quite distracting. Thank you. This The Experiencing PR conference is to talk about challenges in public relations. We have PR and more, which is a bi-monthly program where we discuss PR and more, all other things that involves public relations and pertains to public relations woman. We talk about HR, job, how to access opportunities, how to build yourself as a PR professional so you become a well-rounded PR woman. We talk about, then we have the job fair, which comes up in the last quarter, where we prepare young professionals for the labor market. We also have reverse mentorship. The reverse mentorship program allows senior level professionals be mentored indirectly or in the other way around by young professionals. As time goes by in the industry, new trends come up, and these senior professionals might not be able to catch up. So indirectly, these young professionals get to train and teach these senior professionals. Thereby, we get a mutually beneficial relationship via this network. You can, to get much more detailed information about Nigerian Women in PR, you can just log on to our website www.ngwomeninpr.org for more information. And if you would like to be a member, just log in on this website and you can do that. Thank you. So right about now, I'll be calling on the first speaker for this program for our session. And like I said, this is going to be an enlightening one you don't want to miss out on. So our next speaker is no other person than Eunice Steven, and I'll be reading our citation. Eunice Steven is a graduate of mass communication from the prestigious University of Nigeria, Nsukka. She has worked as a freelance journalist at the New Telegraph, where she covered business, health, and event beats. She has volunteer experience in Nigeria, working for Nigerian Women in PR for about 6 months. Eunice Steven is currently a communications intern at Motion Communication, a consultancy public relations firm in Lagos. With me, please clap your hands virtually as I welcome Eunice Steven for our session. Over to you, Eunice.
Okay, thank you so much, Yetunde. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much, Yetunde, and thank you, Nigerian Women in PR, for this opportunity. Like she said, Eunice, and graduate from University of Nigeria in Nsukka, and I'll be talking on the topic, things I wish I knew as an undergraduate. Okay, so I really wanted to really listen, because it's not like a testimony. Okay, it may be like a bad testimony because I really wish I knew these things while I was an undergraduate. I would have done so much. I would have gone so far, from where I am right now. So please pay attention as I share my little experience. Okay, I'll be sharing my screen now. Okay, so my PR experience so far and what I wish I knew in my undergraduate days. Okay, so as an undergraduate, I studied, like I've said, I studied mass communication, and then in my department, we studied basically everything about mass communication, the print media, the broadcast, the marketing, of course, advertising and public relations. We do all that, then photojournalism and all that. So we did all this, though you not really specialize in any, but of course, when you actually love a particular course, you are free to go to pursue. But then in my department, we're more of the print people. We supported more, or my department supported more of the print. So, okay, let me shift this here. Okay. No, why is this like this? Okay. So, this one, like this part of the presentation, I'm going to basically talk about my undergraduate days, how I got to know public relations, and why did I really fall in love with it, or so I thought. Okay, so I got introduced into public relations through courses like Principles of Public Relations, Media Relations, community relations. Now, when we're doing community relations, the lecturer was particularly so good that I was attracted to the way she will always talk about community relations, how the person will come out and stand as a mediator between the community and the organization. So it really intrigued me. I was like, I really want to do this. I really want to talk. I really want to be, someone that brings peace between two people and also build, cordial relationship between them. So it's really intrigued me. Okay. And then I also got to know more about public relations through assignments, because they gave us assignments and we work with some of the, some of my classmates, we worked with our school PRO on press releases. And then there was a particular crisis that happened. So we help in the crisis management. And of course, I had a particular lecturer, Miss Oma. She was always talking to us about her days, as a public relations practitioner, how she would do this, how she would do that. She gave us so many stories, and I was always I was always excited when she came to the class, because she would always, say things that will make me excited, say things that will make me want to, know more about public relations. So that was basically how, I fell in love with public relations. I was like, I want to pursue this. I want to really know this. But then, of course, like I've already said, my department, we don't really preach so much about practicing public relations. It was more about the print media. So, okay, in my next slide. So that was how I landed in a print media. That's I did my IT, in print media, and it was in the New Telegraph where I went back to work after graduating, after my NYC. So this was where I learned how to, write. Of course, basically it was mostly for print. And okay, I'm going to talk about that. It's different between, different writings. We have different writing, but I learned how to, write for the newspaper. Okay, so I covered bits like entertainment. I remember when I'll be watching out for the celebrities, what they are wearing, what they are doing, where they go to. It was fun though. And then also cover for fashion, for business, for health, and many others. As many people that will want to engage me, I was always open. And then it actually helped my writing skill. It's helped me to, become a better and a good writer. Okay. And then during my service here, basically, like I said, I never really had guidance. Yeah, let me put that way. I never really had guidance on okay, if this is what you want, always go for it. Okay, so that is why I'm having this conversation with each and every one of you. I wish I really knew some things that I know now. So I never really had guidance. And then of course, when I served in Sokoto State, and basically there was really nothing about public relations in that state. So I found myself in secondary school, though I joined the OBS where I work as one of the announcers. It actually helped my, help build my confidence in public speaking. Okay. Am I too fast? Are you guys following me?
Eunice, I'm here, and I don't think you're too fast. Perhaps any other person can.
Okay.
I'm listening as well. I'm listening.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to know if I'm fast. And then, so after my service, and like I said, this is why I'm talking about this. I wish I knew. I would have started, immediately, or even during my service, or even as an undergraduate, when I found out that, oh, I'm passionate about public relations, I would have done some things. Okay, so after my service, I went back to where I did my IT. I met with the supervisor. I met with some of the correspondents and some of the editors. They were like, oh yeah, Eunice, you were good with us. Okay, so continue. But now, of course, they were like telling me, oh, they won't be paying me, so I can freelance, and they'll pay me according to what they'll, according to my writing and my publications and all that. So I freelanced there for about 6 months. And of course, it was nice until the COVID came, and I was like, I'm not actually, finding joy in this. It was always public relations. So I spoke to one of the super lioness. We call ourselves super lions and super lionesses. So I spoke to one. I was like, I'm interested in public relations, and I'm in Lagos State. Is there any way like I can actually volunteer? I don't even want them to pay me. I just want to learn about public relations. And then Nigerian Women in PR was highly recommended. It came highly recommended. So I sent a message across to Tulu. I spoke with her. I was like, I'm passionate about public relations, but I've been at home for, since after the COVID, I've been at home. I would love to volunteer. And of course, we work more on it's a remote setting kind of work. So at some point I was scared, will I be engaged? Will I really learn what I want to learn? But for me, it was a wonderful 6 months because I learned a lot in Nigerian Women in PR. And of course, I started right now interning for an organization called Modern Communication. And it's, of course, that one is also highly recommended. Okay, so I'll be moving over to what I have learned so far. Okay, so while in the university, I always taught this about public relations. I always thought that public relations is only or all about public speaking. Like when I did the media relations, I just felt like, oh, you just come out and talk to to the public, talk to the community, talk when there's an issue, you just come and talk and all that. So I just felt maybe it was basically public speaking, and then of course planning of parties. I was speaking with one of editors that's in the newspaper the other day. He was now telling me, oh, you guys, the only thing you do is to organize events, right? And just talk and talk and talk. But then I got to understand while I was learning, while I was in Nigerian Women in PR and now in modern communication, that it is not all about public speaking and planning parties, as I thought, but it's about business writing. Anyway, it also depends on the type of public relation that you want to go to, okay? It's also about research and analysis. You cannot, if you want to represent an organization, you have to do research about that organization, their competitors, what are they doing that is better than your organization, and and so many other things. Then you analyze. So it's not going to be like a walk in the park. We just call, oh, we are having an event, and go about talking. You have to. And then you also have to know one or two things about design, video editing, audio editing, and these are important skills that you really have to have. So as a public relations, as a mass communication student, we all had this opportunity, designs and all, but then I wasn't really focusing much on those, skills, because I felt, oh, public relation is all about just go out, speak to these people, maybe a little bit of writing and all. So it is not about just this. Okay, thank you. Now, these are the things I wish I knew about public relations. These are the things I wish I knew in my undergraduate days, right? I would have gone so wide. Now, social media, I really wish I knew all the opportunities in there. I would have built my brand as an undergraduate. So, of course, I'm going to talk about that. Social media like LinkedIn, I really wish I knew about as in the opportunities. There's so much opportunities in LinkedIn. There's so much opportunities in Twitter. There's so much opportunities out there. And it's very important that you don't joke with any of them. As an undergraduate now, you can actually learn about them, right? You can actually learn, oh, how do I use this? Okay, I'm going to optimize my LinkedIn. I'm going to, you can actually come up with kind of posts that you're interested in and keep posting it, keep, doing it consistently. And before you graduate, you don't know like how far you go in these social medias. Then writing skills. Okay, I wish I knew, I wish I actually engage more in different writing skills like blogging, like, okay, of course, it's good for you to open your blog right now as an undergraduate, open your blog and write, then put it on your LinkedIn, maybe your Twitter, and always refer people to that. It's very, very important. It will help you to, to become very good when you really come out of school. Not just business writing. We have different types of writing. We have creative writing and different types of writing. So just, explore, open yourself up to the kind of writing that you are really comfortable with. Okay. And then public speaking skills. I really wish I build more confidence in that. I really wish I engage more in activities that will build up, my confidence in my and develop my public speaking skill. Of course, I'm learning that now. But I didn't mean I did it in those years. I would have been better off right now. Okay, and then I said that learn new things. Public relations, it's not just about public relation. Okay, this is how it works, right? You represent a particular organization in a particular industry. So you have to read wide. You don't have to limit yourself. Maybe, oh, maybe I love entertainment. You may actually need to work in an organization that is not entertainment related at all, maybe real estate industry right now. So you have to learn, read wide, research, analyze things, ask questions, try out new things, that you can, even if you're not comfortable, try out new things. You are an undergraduate, and nobody is going to fault you right now. Nobody is going to really put so much pressure on you right now. So try out new things, learn new things, read wide, be curious in everything that you're doing. Okay, so I know I've taken much time. Okay, so as I conclude, these are like my concluding words. Okay, so I will say that you are very lucky. That's just the truth. You're very, very lucky to actually have this opportunity to hear about public relations, to know, okay, this was what this person wish she knew as an undergraduate, right? Okay, now I have the opportunity to learn, and now I have the opportunity to hear. So you're very lucky. So grab the opportunity. Pay attention to other courses. Like I said, we did video editing, audio editing, other courses. So I didn't really paid so much attention to it. Now I will not have to like come and learn, oh, of course, I'm getting better at with Canva. I'm getting better with InShot and other video editing. But as it is right now, there are courses that major on all these skills that you can learn in the university. So focus on it. Pay attention to it. Ask the lecturers, oh, I want to do this. I want to learn more. Then your classmates that really know, okay, more than you in that particular course, ask them to explain more, because you really need all of them in public relations. Okay, although in design you can actually pay somebody outside, but it's very good for you to know about it, because you need to critique. When the person sends in the design and you don't like it and it's not okay, you can actually say, oh no, I don't want this, because you yourself, you know what you want, you know the quality of what you want. Okay, then define what you want in public relations. Now we have different aspects of public relations. Okay, is it the media? Do you want to go into media? Do you want to go into strategic communication? Are you in for public affairs? So define what you want in public relation and how bad you want it. When you don't really know how bad you want something, or when you don't really know the why you need something or you want something, you may not really put in your all. So define what you want. Okay, this is what I want in public relations, and go for it. And then do not joke with your social media platforms. Build your brand and connect with mentors. Connect with people that will help you. Connect with people that will direct you. We have so many, people, public relations practitioners out there in Nigeria, very good ones. And even in Nigerian Women in PR, we have good members. So you can actually connect, can join Nigerian Women in PR, or you connect, go on LinkedIn, go on Twitter. You see so many great public relations specialists, the one that you want, the person or the mentor that you want to live, like you want to be like, can actually connect to them on social media. And then you can volunteer to work with a PR organization that resonates with your values. You can decide, oh, okay, I want to volunteer to learn with Nigerian Women in PR. You can actually go out for it. And then there are other public relations establishments in Nigeria. I can actually, put out words that, oh, I'm interested, I want to learn. Sorry, what just happened? What happened? Oh, I'm sorry. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Eunice, I can see your screen.
Okay, so something happened down this end. Oh, sorry. Those were actually my parting words. I'll try and see what happened. Okay, so I'm so sorry. Something happened and there was a flip. Okay. I need to stop sharing my screen. So sorry about that. Something happened. Okay, I'm back. So basically, I'm almost done. I think I'm already done. So build your self-confidence. Okay, so it's very, very important in public relations to have a reasonable, in fact, to have a good self-image. Build your self-confidence, love yourself, build the way you carry yourself and all that. And it will really help you, just not just with your colleague, but with clients. When you appear before clients and they see, oh, this person is confident, this person, know how to carry his or herself, people will want to listen to what you're saying. But if you're saying something without confidence, they were like, are you even sure this person knows what he or she is saying? So please build your self-confidence and do not allow anyone to say that you're not able to do anything or that you can't. Believe that you can do anything you put your mind to do. So this brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned a few things. Thank you. Yes, and I'm done.
Yeah, I can hear that. I mean, that's a wonderful one, and thank you so much for that session. I have learned, and I'm definitely sure our participants have learned. So, briefly, before we go into our next session, I would like any of the participants you just joined in. Oh, I joined in between. I didn't get it clearly. Can you please just briefly tell me what was the highlight for you? Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you so much for that wonderful session. So I was able to learn that we should learn to build our confidence, and we should not allow the audience we're trying to pass across our message to think we are weak, and we should always try to engage with our social media audience very well, because that is the only way to promote our business. So I was able to pick that from all of what she said earlier.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ifekoya, for that. You know, uh, it's actually it's not the world now is a global market, such that I am here in Nigeria. I can be working as far as Canada. I can be working in France, provided I am visible to the people who need me. So those small skills you think, oh, they are negligible, they are small. I just can write press releases. Oh, I am actually good at managing crises for organization. Oh, you know what? I am actually excellent at editing. I edit documents. Oh, I am actually a personal brand coach. All these skills matter a lot, but you know what? They might not even mean anything if you're not visible. So you want to leverage on social media. I would like to ask, how many of us here have a LinkedIn account? Please, if you don't, please, now I am imploring you, please get a LinkedIn account and optimize it. You will meet the best of the best on LinkedIn and learn to build relationship. The relationship are key. Like a friend once said something. He said, "Now I'm a PR professional. I can't just delete anybody's contact. I am open to meeting people because you would need this relationship. And you can't tell me as a PR professional or an aspiring PR professional, you don't know how to build a relationship. You definitely would need to know and be equipped in building relationship with someone. So right about now, we're going into the next session. And I will be dropping a link in the chat box. Please use it, give feedback on unit session. You enjoyed it. As PR professional, we give feedback. Feedback helps us manage our audience, help us know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong, and where we can make changes. So in order to grow, we need feedback, and to show that we are doing we practice what we say. We are not just we say it, others do it. We are sitting back. Please, let's give feedback, and the link is right there in the session box, chat box. Click on it, and you can give feedback for it. Right about now, we'll be going into the next session, and I'll be taking the citation of the next speaker. You want to know that the next speaker is, permit me to use this word, a big woman. She's a senior professional, and I tell you, I am definitely sure from this session, you're going to pick something to use for your personal career and for your growth, even outside university and as you grow. So the next speaker is Taye Sukarimu. She's an integrated marketing communications professional. She's passionate about communications and for and selling brands. She has uh, quite a number of years experience in public relations, digital marketing, social media management, and marketing communications. She started out her journey as a youth assistant for Action Health Incorporated. And over the years, she has she has diversified her journey into media and communication as a reporter with Timeless Magazine, Vanguard newspaper, wow, Silverbird Television, and after gaining knowledge from the Nigerian Institute of Journalism, she went on to bag a diploma in advertising and promotions management in the University of Lagos. Taye Takarimu is the current coordinator for Africa Public Relations Association, the umbrella body for the practice of public relations in Africa. Wow! Ladies and gentlemen, please with me virtually clap your hands as we welcome Taye Takarimu for our session. Over to you, Taye.
Thank you so much, Yetunde. I'm so overwhelmed by that introduction. It's just a small me with a giant God, like we always say. I'm happy to be here to speak to everyone. It's indeed a privilege to impact, to share knowledge with everyone. And when they reached out to me to do this, I was very excited to do it. I've always loved to share knowledge and also impact knowledge. So yeah, this is my presentation. I don't want to waste so much of the time because it's a weekend. I just got back from the gym. I went to exercise. That's why I'm looking like this. So it's one of a necessity for you as a professional or as a career person. Yeah. So I'm going to be talking to you about my PR experience, transition from student to professional. I enjoyed Uni's presentation. I'm wondering if I still have to do a presentation because she said so much, and I'm just going to be speaking on my own journey, how I moved from a student to being a professional. So yesterday has read my profile. I'm a graduate of mass communication from the University of Cape Coast. I have a master's degree in media marketing communication from School of Media and Communication, Pan Atlantic University. I belong to professional bodies, APRA, the African Public Relations Association, where I was the coordinator. I stepped down a few months ago. I now work in the public sector. Also, I'm a member of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations and also a member of the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria. Yeah, I love to laugh a lot. Laughing is good. I love to laugh a lot. It's a good way to relieve yourself and enjoy life to the fullest. I also love to take pictures because for me, they keep good memories. And for me as a PR practitioner, pardon, um, taking pictures are very good. They keep memories. They do a lot more for you. They can give you access and all of that, which I'm going to discuss along the line in my presentation. I love to travel. I hear a lot of people say, oh, you need to have money to travel. No, you don't have to have money. In Nigeria, you can go to IITA, enjoy yourself. You can go to Gumorok. You know, when you travel, you open your mind to the world beyond just reading. That opens your mind to the world. And as a PR professional, you need to know something about everything in the entire world. And then traveling makes it easier for you because you really don't have to spend long hours reading a book, but when you travel, you experience it, you're able to imbibe and take in as much as that. I'm not saying that reading is not good. Reading books is good, but then some of us don't have that length of time to read an entire book for days and all of that. Yeah, and I love to listen to music and build relationships, which is very key in the profession as a PR practitioner. My philosophy of life is that every mistake in life teaches you a lesson for the future. Don't see the mistakes as a disappointment that you should slip in. You know, pick something from every mistake you make in life because it helps you in future. Now I'm going to be taking you on a journey from my life, my career as a student to becoming transitioning to becoming a professional. And a lot of times when we talk about a journey, what most of you see is usually, I don't know if you can see my cursor, something as smooth as this, you know, a path very smooth, there are no obstructions. I mean, you know the design of how you fly a plane, you know, it's smooth, except for when there's turbulence, which is very rare. Yeah, and you know that feel of, oh, I'm flying a plane, you know, that kind of thing. So those are the feelings you get when you hear people talk about their journeys or their career and all of that. But the real thing is actually this. There are many, many roadblocks. There are many, many downs. There are many, many challenges. You can see this picture collage, which makes it look like everything is scattered. Yeah. So a lot of times people have to go through all of this in their career journey. So for me, moving as a student to being a PR professional was the same way. I was lucky enough to have some very smooth path, but then there were huge challenges, which I will also discuss along the line of this presentation. So I'm going to be talking through, you know, how I started as a student. I started when I finished secondary school, waiting to get admission to university. JAM was jamming me, like you guys always say. And so my brother just came on one day and said, oh, why don't you just go and do this? So I applied to the Nigerian Institute of Journalism. And you know what? Everything in life, every part that you take in life or anything you do in life, it's a preparation for something. You might not see it, but it's always a preparation for something, you know, in future. As I then, I was like, why would I go to NIJ for what? Like NIJ, me go to NIJ. But you know, I went. And it was the beginning of a great journey for me, for my career. So I spent 2 years at NIJ, did OND there, and it was good. It gave me an opportunity to work in Vanguard and Silverbird because we had to do a lot of internships during our holiday. And so that was how my journey started. But of course, I focused on mass communication. But then we took courses in PR advertising. But then I wasn't even interested in PR. You know, I was more interested in advertising. And of course, writing the stories in in media houses and all of that. So PR wasn't really in the picture for me at this level. But I took courses in PR, I enjoyed it. I did advertising courses, I loved it. From NIJ, I wanted to go fully into advertising. So when I finished from NIJ, I wanted to pursue a career to go definitely to a university. I didn't want to continue with HND. Right from when I started, I knew I was not going to do HND at NIJ, which is something that, Eunice also said that know what you want and go for it. So I had known that I wasn't going to do an HND there. And so I went on to do some work. So I worked with Funala Ofuyebi, Raimi, which some of you know, a celebrity. So I worked with her as a publicity and logistics manager. And so when I worked with her, it gave me access to people, to places, organization. I got to know about agencies, what they do. My mind was expanded. So I began to think about, where I wanted to delve into, which area I wanted to go into, eventually when I finished university. And it helped my decision when I got into university. Along the line, I had role models. And these were people from afar. I didn't have contact with them, but I always said to myself that one day I will meet this person. And which is something I want to say to you as students, is the fact that always believe in yourself, always dream dreams. It's good to dream. Dream, they say dreamers don't do anything. Dream, because when you dream and you pray about it and you put the work to it, you are able to get there. A lot of times I picture myself in things, in places, in situations, and years after, I see myself in those places. And mind you, I walked towards them. I prayed towards them. I asked people, I followed people, for guidance and all of that, which was some of the things that Eunice also mentioned. So I had role models. But funny enough, I had one person who I called an boy in the industry, who at every point in time I wanted to do internship, I would talk to him. I'll say, oh, Edmond, okay, I'm going to be on holiday by so time. Please, I need a place to do my internship. And then he will help me get a place, or he would, tell me where I could go to send my CV and all of that. And that really worked for me because it was the journey. It was a great journey for me, because when I sit back now and I reminisce about my life and how I started, I'm grateful to God and to the people He placed in my life for me to be able to, pass through those parts. And so he would tell me places to go. I would go after school, I would do my internship. It didn't matter if it was for 2 months or 3 months, I did them, and so that's part of the journey for me. So that led me into doing my internship at Vanguard, Silverbird, and so at Silverbird, I met a lot of people, and I'm going to talk about people in your journey, along the line of this presentation. And so after that, again, I went to a place called Bait Kose. It's an advertising agency in, I think, Ikeja, GRA, Lagos, yes. So I was there for a couple of weeks, because I didn't do up to I think it was about 6 weeks. Yeah, and something interesting has happened in my life now as a result of that internship that I did at Bait Kose, which I will talk about much later. Yeah, so maybe I should just drop that now so I don't forget my line of thought. So I worked at Bait Kose as an intern, and I was there for like 6 weeks. So I did job rotation, worked with the client service, worked with copywriters. I went round and I met people. I spoke to them, I talked to them. Some of them I'm still in touch with. And interestingly, I was looking for a job, wanted to change my job, and I belong to a community, where we just talk. It's a community of young professionals with older professionals as well. And they put up advert placement, job vacancies, and all of that. And then I saw a job vacancy, and I was like, should I do it? Should I not apply? Should I? But I was deliberate. And like what Eunice said, and yesterday talked about LinkedIn, really, really worked for me. So I just sent it. And funny enough, I even sent the application, I think 2 hours to the closing time. I was the last date. I was very reluctant. So I sent it. So when I sent it, and I went to check, I don't know what I was looking at on LinkedIn, and I saw that somebody who I had worked with at Bait Kose works in that organization that I had applied for. So what did I do? I called the person and I said, oh, look, hi, it's been long, and then it's always good to keep in touch with people. You don't look for them only when you need them. And so I called her and I said to her, I know you work in this organization now. I saw a job vacancy. I'm applying for this. Do you have an idea of what it is? give me an idea. What are they looking out for? Because we're given a task. I was going to do a presentation. So of course I went to read up about the organization, but I just felt she would be able to give me insights as to, what they're expecting. The funny thing, the person I was talking to is actually the one recruiting. And you know what? I had worked with this person at Bait Kose. And now she's the one that's now recruiting, but she never mentioned it to me. So she just said to me, oh, this is that. She just gave me a general overview. And she said, you know what? In this place, it's about how you defend your case. So I said, no problem. So I went on to do the presentation. I went for the interview. I did the interview. When I got into the room, it was this person was also part of the panel. So I was shocked, but of course, I did my presentation, did all my background work, did my research, did everything. I put in a lot of work into it, and I did the presentation, and then I left. Why am I saying this? Is because you have to learn to build relationships in this profession. It's very key. It doesn't matter for how long. Always, check up on your professional colleagues, on your friends, not only when you need them, because if you don't do that, there'll come a time that you need these people along the line of your career, or even in what you're doing. So it's very, very key and important. I moved on to school in Ghana, and then of course we had to be doing internship, because I for once told myself for every holiday I'm going to be doing internships. And because I really want to learn, to develop myself, self-development is very key in this career, in this profession. So I said to myself that every holiday I will be doing internship. And so when I finished, I think my third year university, they made us do compulsory internship. But prior to that, I've been doing internship for every holiday when I come home. So I had to do an internship in Ghana. So what I did was to call this my mom and said to him that I'm in Ghana now, I need to do internship. So where can I go to do this internship? And I need somebody in Ghana. Guess what? He connected me to somebody in Ghana, and I got my space to do my internship free of charge. I didn't have to worry or do anything, and it was a very good place. I did my internship. Coming back to Lagos, I had to do another internship again. And I remember that when I was still waiting to get admission into NIJ, I was teaching in a school. I was an assistant teacher. So I had this parent who I used to follow. And you see, this thing about social media, I know for some of us, we're just doing it for enjoyment. Please, as you're enjoying, be using brain to create opportunities for yourself and things that you can get for your future. So I used to follow this parent. I saw that he was a big person in the industry. He used to hang out with a lot of people, and so I just called him up and said, sir, I'll see you. Okay. And I said, sir, I'd like to do my internship, because I felt, let me let my mom rest a bit. And I spoke to him. So he just spoke to one of his friends, and the person said, okay, you can come and do your internship. And that was how I got into Novel Portali to do my internship there. Why am I telling you all of this? Because a lot of times we always want to wait for people to do things for ourselves. Some people have the opportunity of having people to do things for them. People like me never had the opportunity of, oh, I can just sit at home and then my parents will be looking for where I will intern or how to get a job and all of that. And it was very necessary for me to do all of this, to also support my parents, in ensuring that I get educated. And so I moved on and did my internship, went back to school, graduated. I came back and started my professional journey. So PR, according to the president of the African Public Relations Association, is the art of storytelling, and which is why my presentation today is just based on storytelling, on how I transitioned from a student to becoming a professional. And so let's go on this journey. I hope that you have your tea, your coffee, and your donut or snacks while we go on a ride. Yeah, like you guys always say, how it started versus how it's going on social media, like what I ordered versus what I got. In my own case, so I ordered well and I got something right. Yeah, so how did it start for me? Like I said, when we go on a journey, we all think that, oh, it's always smooth. But if you see in this picture, there are many rough, intertwined, entangled, journey along the line and all of that. So I've spoken about my energy journey. I've spoken about how I got to work with Funola Baby Raimi. So when I finished at NIJ, I worked with Funlola, also trying to get admission into university. So I got admitted into Lagos State University. Along the line, I was in my 300 level and I found out that my admission was fake. That was one of the downs for me in my career. So I had to drop out and waited again to do jam. So I could go to school. At that point in time, I was tired. I felt frustrated and that I didn't want to, continue with school and everything. But I had parents who said to me, no, you go to school, just think it through and all of that. And so in 2010, I said, okay, let me go and do a diploma in University of Lagos. And that was how I did a diploma with the Human Resource Development Board of University of Lagos. And I did a diploma in advertising and promotions management. Fantastic. I said to you that people are very important in PR, in this profession. So I met my classmates, I met people as well. I kept contact, I have their details and all of that. So I was building relationship with them. Some of them I lost touch, but we'll catch up on Facebook, on social media. And I'll tell you that along the line, when I left a job, I wanted to get into another job. I applied for a job somewhere and I saw that one of the guys in my class during my days in Unilag, during my diploma days, works in that organization. I didn't know until I walked into the organization for the interview and I saw him at the reception. I'm like, oh, I know you somewhere. And he said to me, I also know you somewhere. And then he said, oh, we went to Unilag together and that was how we connected. Luckily for me, after my interview, the MD of the organization called the guy and asked him to tell him about me and how we know each other. So imagine if I was not nice to this guy, or I was mean, or I didn't even, or when I saw him there, I acted like I didn't know him or something, or I didn't keep in touch because we used to talk on Facebook. After a while, we lost touch. But then, he was the person that spoke for me in the room while I was not there. Luckily for me, I got the job. People are very important in this journey of, in this career journey of public relations. So I left, I went to school, I went to University of Cape Coast, and then in Cape Coast, I made new friends. There were people from different countries, of course, and of course, Ghanaians and Nigerians and all that. So I was very deliberate. Even though I was friends with my Nigerian people, I was also friends with a lot of Ghanaians because I also used it as an opportunity to learn about their culture, their tradition, to learn things about that. When I finished at UCC, they offered me a job to stay back to teach, but I wasn't really interested because I was very concerned about family and I wanted to come back to home to be with my family, my parents and everybody. Yeah, so when I came back, I started to volunteer. So volunteering is more like you planting a seed for your future, and then at the end of the day, the seed will grow, it will flourish, and it'll be time to harvest. So I started volunteering, and I started volunteering through this my Egbon, who I used to call up to say, Egbon, I want to do an internship somewhere. So he just pulled me and said, look, that he's working in this organization. Let me come and volunteer for them. I'll be working, I'll be learning. And it was for free. I never got paid for it. So these are some of the things that you need to know, more like your own dues that you need to pay for you to start enjoying when you start to build a career for yourself. So I was volunteering for the association. So they had a conference in 2016. I followed them for the conference and I was just doing my own thing. I gave it my all, even though I was not paid for it. I did it like my life depended on it and that they were paying me for the job. So it was there that I met different people across, different places. So when I graduated in school, I went on vacation with my mom somewhere. I went on vacation in South Africa. So I remember that there's an International Public Relations Association Congress that was going on in South Africa, in Johannesburg. So I said to myself that I was going to attend that conference. Even though it was paid for, I said I would go. So I was volunteering in another organization as well. And they said, oh, it'd be a good opportunity. And they tapped into it and said, since you are going for a holiday and you're going to South Africa, take our, what's it called, collaterals, our brand, notebook, things that branded materials. I should just go there and say, I want to present it to people. So I went. It was a paid for event. I introduced myself, I said I'm a recent graduate. I heard about this conference. So you have to be bold and be courageous and take steps that, people will even wonder that what kind of braveness is this one? So I went in, they told me to wait during their lunch break that I could talk to people. So I waited. I spoke to people during the lunch break, and then I met the president of the International Public Relations Association. Oh, I took pictures with him, I met other Nigerians who came for the conference as well. And then many other people, I kept their contact, I took cards from them and all of that. And then my mom was there, very supportive. She was the one taking the pictures for me, waiting for me and all of that. And of course, our host in South Africa. So she took the pictures, did everything. We came back. I used it in the organization I was volunteering for. It was a good leverage for them. They put it in press, and all of that. So you can imagine how all of these things came together. So when I now started volunteering for the African Public Relations Association, they were going to have a conference in 2016, and they said, and this Egmont said to me that, Chebi, you've met the International Public Relations Association president. Can we not bring him for our conference? Because that would also give us some leverage for the African Public Relations conference. So I said, okay, I have his contact. Let me send him an email and find out if it will be a good thing for him to do. And then I sent an email to him, and bravo, that was it. He agreed and said he was going to come. And that gave the conference a very good leverage and endorsement. Who did it? One small girl who is just volunteering somewhere. And because, she has an Egbon who thought, oh, he could also rely on her. And don't feel that you're too big or too small to do anything, or you're too big to ask a small person to do something. This is an Egbon, an older person. He just spoke to me and I got that person for him. And that added to his KPI, his key performance index. So I'm saying these things, I'm telling you these stories, and we're going on this journey so that you can understand that PR is not just about, what you think. It's about building relationships. It's about, getting goodwill, and PR will help you. There are some things that you will get for free because of the relationship that you built over the years. So this guy came for the conference and that was it. And after that, he became one of the partners. The association became partner with APRA, and then since then they started inviting him for their conferences. And then it also opened other doors for us because he is the president of the International Public Relations Association. He was able to give us access to other organizations and other places that, the African Public Relations Association have been trying to get into. And so in 2017, I moved on to work into another organization. So I was moving a lot, even though at some point, I went for an interview and the HR told me it wasn't a good day, that I should stay in a place for a period of time before I start moving because it would be good for my CV. So I said, okay, no problem. Thank you for your advice. I listened to her. So when 2017, I was working in an organization and I got a call from APRA to say that, oh, since I volunteered for them and the current coordinator is leaving, rather than them putting out a vacancy to advertise and call for application, they would like me to take on that position if I don't mind. And so they were like, if I said that I didn't want it, then they can go out to call for application. So I said, okay, no problem. And because I was working on the island, it was really stressful for me driving. At a point, I stopped driving to work. I used to take bus, but it was really stressful. I wake up early, I'll go home late. So I just told my Oga then that, you know what, I got a job somewhere close to home and I really don't mind, even though they're not going to pay me as much as you are paying me, but I want my peace of mind. I want to live long, so they begged me, they wanted to increase my pay and all of that. So I told her it wasn't about the money for me at the time because I felt I was just starting off my career and I needed to build my career. And so I left the job and went to APRA. So from a volunteer, I became a full-time staff. So that was how I joined APRA, and it has opened doors for me, opportunities, and all of that. So I also read a book that when I finished school, my plan was to go and do my master's immediately. But I read a book by somebody who is also my mentor, Mrs. Nkiru Olumide. Some of you might know her. Um, so I read the book, and in the book, she talked about her experience and said that there was a part that says, if you want to do your master's, it's always best for you to have a few years of work experience before you go on to do your master's, because it helps you in doing your master's. You would have gained the professional experience. So by the time you get to class and they're talking about things that are high level, you can relate with it. And it worked for me. So I picked that from the book, The Pressure Cooker. Some of you can go and get it and read it. So I picked that from the book, and it worked for me, because by the time I was doing my master's, I was way, way, way ahead of some of my classmates who just finished university and just came on straight to do their master's. So some things that they say in class were very confusing for them. But for me, it was like, okay, let's move on to the next one, because I was already familiar with it, and all those kind of things. So, working with APRA opened my eyes, gave me opportunity to travel, because I love to travel. And so my job gave me that opportunity. I traveled a lot, when I was working with APRA, I got the opportunity to travel twice. So imagine if we were going to have a conference in South Africa, for instance, I would go to South Africa twice, because I would go first. I would go to South Africa twice, because I would go first. Sorry, I can hear some echo. Can you mute if you are not speaking? Yes, can you mute if you are not speaking? Okay, so I would go to South Africa, for instance, first of all, and then I would now I would go to do a recce to check on venue, meet the partners. I used to meet with top government agencies. So I had like connections. I was talking to big people that you could see on TV, or that you hear their names, and then you're like, me, how can I meet them? But this job gave me the opportunity to do all of those. So I would travel twice. It opened my eyes. I would go on a tour, because I had to see the places that the delegates would visit before the delegates came, and all of that. So he really, really opened my mind, and I learned a lot about cultures, different people. And like I said, PR is about knowing something about everything. You have to know something about everything, because like Eunice said, you might find yourself working in a PR in a firm that they're into real estate, or you might find yourself working in a firm that they are into entrepreneurship, or a firm that they are into IT. And which is why you need to know something about everything, so that when there's an issue or a crisis, you are able to manage it, and then you'll be a thought leader, an authority when you're delivering on the job. So like I said, in my journey internship, I started with my education, which is very key. You have to get educated. You have to learn about the profession. And when you're starting, for those of you in university, don't block your mind to learning other parts of PR. Don't say, oh, I want to go into media relations alone. Don't say, I want to go into corporate affairs alone. Learn about everything, because you might find yourself working in a corporate affairs organization when you decide to change your job. Or you might find yourself working in a media department when you find yourself changing your job in another organization. So for me, academic was the very start for me. I'm going to the right schools, taking courses. I also went to the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, where I learned about basic presentation. What I'm doing now as a PR person, this talks about you, the kind of presentation you put out there, speaks volume about you, your brand, which Eunice also stressed on when she was doing her presentation. Internships, you can never stop doing internships, because they prepare you ahead of your career. They help you learn for free when you do internship, and you learn in an organization for free, even though some organizations will pay you money, give you some money. I think I'm running out of time. Let me quickly round up quickly. So, you need to do a lot of internships. It gives you experience. It trains you. You're able to get skills and all of that. Self-development, very key. Self-development is very, very important. So for me, I've always had the practice that every year I must take a course. Every year I must learn something new. So until COVID happened, I think after my master's in 2020, I decided that for 2021, I'm going to take a break from school, because even all my friends and everyone who know me, they're like, if you become a professor, what will be the next thing that you will be? Because you're always reading. And it's a very, very important thing to do. Self-development, read, study, read. It doesn't matter if it's not a book you're reading, go on blogs, go on sites, read something, because in this profession, you have to be an authority. And so when I'm somewhere, I'm having a conversation, I'm able to contribute, I'm able to discuss. If you're talking about politics, I'm able to drop something. If you're talking about tourism, I'm able to say something. If you're talking about tech, I'm able to say something. And which is one of the skills or things that we need to have as PR professionals. Volunteer, I already talked about that. When you volunteer, you're already planting a seed, for the future, so that, at the end of the day, you blossom in your career. You will be, imagine if you didn't volunteer and you start a new job, it'll be difficult for you to quickly, what's the word to use? Quickly, forgotten the word, just ran out of the word. But what I'm trying to say is for you to also quickly imbibe their culture, adapt to the environment that you're working in, because you would have had an idea of what it is about media relations, about public relations, about crisis management, about writing and all of that. And of course, joining an association really helped me, because as I joined an association, I learned from professionals for free. So there were some things that I learned from these professionals for free. I didn't have to pay for them, and really, really helped me, in my career. Like I said, mentoring is very, very good. A lot of times, people want to have physical mentors that they can be talking to all the time. But don't forget that these mentors too, they have 1,001 things that they're doing. So I started my own mentorship from following these people that I liked. I was reading about them, following their activities. Some of them I had contact with, some of them I still have contact with. I have some mentors I've never met, but I follow them on social media. I spend good time on social media, not just to be doing TikTok. I'm not saying TikTok is bad, because in our profession, it's something that we used to market. But what I do is I follow sharply. Let me just say it that way. So I follow people. I learn how they do things. I read about them. If they are going to places or they are going to speak at places, I will log on. I will follow, because I was learning a lot from them. Like I said, self-development. You need to follow blogs, sites, and news sites, social media pages on PR and communication, so that gives you an authority, makes you a specialist in your profession. Yeah. So, it doesn't mean you cannot read about, you have to read it. You have to know something about everything. So follow sites, read up on tech, business, so that you can be able to discuss and, be an authority in all of these things. When you develop yourself, you're actually watching yourself and planting seeds so that you can grow fruitful harvest. So like I said, PR is about, it's the art of storytelling. And because I love pictures a lot, I decided to use pictures of my journey to explain to you how I moved from being a student into my professional career. So in the middle here was when I started at NIJ. I think this was my matric or graduation. I really can't remember. And I have friends here who I still connect with that also helped me in my career journey. So the lady on the far right wearing black, Bolade, she used to head the digital team in Guardian. When I was working, I needed stuff, I could reach out to her easily, for her to help me get stuff done. I remember when she was leaving her position, she called me to ask if I wanted to change my job so she could recommend me, So your classmates, I repeat, your classmates, they matter. They matter. Don't look at their humble beginning too, because in future, you don't even know where they will be or the positions you'll be occupying, in future. So it's very, very important that you don't take your classmates for granted. So I moved from NIGA to University of Cape Coast. This was my graduation day, some days before my graduation. And of course, on my graduation day, my mom and the next lady is my roommate. And I put specific pictures because these people have played a part in my career journey. So my classmates too also is somebody that, could link me up with something. She studied information technology. So while we're in the room, I'll be asking her questions about information technology. So she told me about coding, all these things. So I got a little idea about all of these things. Yeah. So like I said, no one is irrelevant to you as a PR professional. Even the security, drivers, media workers, everybody is important to you. So this was a picture of me at the International Public Relations World Congress in 2015. So this was where I met International Public Relations Association president. The guy with me is the secretary. So I met him first, spoke to him, and then he introduced me to the president. And so that was how I was able to get the man to, to attend our conference. These are my classmates who are currently doing big in Ghana, and that's me here. And so if I need anything along the line in my job, I always call them to say, oh, I want to do this thing in Ghana. Can you help me? So they link me up, and that makes it easy for me. So I also volunteered in an organization called the Military Police and Paramilitary Public Relations Officers Forum. And you know what that did for me? It gave me access to all the security agencies in Nigeria. So I could walk anywhere. Sometimes, even if anybody wants to harass me on the road, it was easy to just call somebody, So it really worked for me. I had a good relationship with this woman who was a PRO then. And also, I was supposed to have a meeting with the minister on one of those days. So I was traveling to Abuja to go and see him. And at Butapare, they told me that I might not see him because he's always busy and everything. So I stayed. Luckily for me, both of us were flying the same day from Lagos on the same flight, and our flights were delayed. So when I saw him, I said, you see how God works, how he plans. I just really sat down with him. I spoke to him, did my own deal. The meeting I was supposed to have with him that they said would take me hours or the whole day, I might never see him that day. I sealed it at the airport, but I still went ahead to Abuja to do other things. But then everything I needed to do with the minister, I did it at the airport. That's how opportunity came my way. And like I said to you about people, they are your asset and social currency. Do not joke with people at all. People are your asset and social currency. Now, this is the International Public Relations Association President, but even up to today, we still have a very good relationship. This is the president of the African Public Relations Association, who is a very, 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 who is very dear to me, who was my boss as well. Yeah. So these things are very, very important because people matter in this profession. I'm able to meet with big people. This is the president of the former president of Ghana, who came for our conference, but we went on a visit to Ghana and we decided to pay him a courtesy visit again. This person is the deputy chairperson of the African Union Commission, who, also came for our conference. I built a relationship with him. I still talk to him. I chat him up whenever I'm in a country where he is. I check up on him. I have lunch with him to tell you that PR gives you access, gives you opportunity to dine and wine with the IMIC, but you also have to do your work. Don't misuse opportunities that you have, and don't take them for granted. This is me at the conference in Botswana with different people from different parts of Africa. So I used to tell my friends that I'm global. I have friends in the whole continent, So because of my job, if I need something in Namibia, for instance, I know that I can call a friend and say, oh, I need this in Namibia. Can you help me? Even if she doesn't have the contact, she'll know somebody who knows somebody that can help me connect the person. This is Steve Babaeko, a very, very, very strong person in our industry as well. I had wanted to work with him, but COVID came and I couldn't work with him. And apparently, Steve stayed with my cousins. He grew up with my cousins in the north, and you see how, the relationship now brought us together. These are also people that I've met. The lady here is also my boss, and she got me to join a course for free, a course that cost about $10,000. I joined the course for free, which is the starting block. It's an academy, so I joined them and I got it for free because I met her, I worked with her. Paul gave me opportunities to attend trainings abroad, and all of that. Yeah, so your community, the community you belong to, they matter a lot. They matter a lot. Now, what are the opportunities? I need to really run fast. The opportunities there are the fact that you have role models who will guide you, teach you, help you. There are opportunities for mentoring. Like Eunice said, she got into women in PR and she has people who she can talk to, who she can reach out to. PR gives you access. It gives you access to everything and anywhere if you do your work right. You have the opportunity to network, to build your network, and expand your network as much as you can. There are job opportunities and business opportunities. So, these are some of the opportunities that you have. I'm able to meet with a president, Dele Momodu. I had breakfast with him, and up to now I still talk to him and I see him in places, it gives me access, I can reach out. So, but you also have to do your own groundwork. It's an interesting profession that can take you places, but you also have to do your own work. You have to pay your dues, you have to do your due diligence, you have to also come prepared. Now, what are the 5 things you need to know? Personally, self-development, you have to develop yourself. You have to be professional at every point, and you have to be humble. Humility will take you places. You have to be very humble, be willing to learn, be willing to apologize when you make mistakes. Be willing. Don't say, oh, I'm too big for this person, or I'm older than this person. I currently work for somebody that I'm older than, but you know what? She's my boss. She's my boss, and she has gotten there because she worked to get there on time, So it's not, you don't need pride, you need to be humble. Professionally, get all the certification that you can, read, study, you need to have emotional intelligence. You have to have empathy for people, put yourself in people's shoes and all of it, especially when there are crisis, situation of crisis. For example, when there is a plane crash and you're the PR manager, you have to be empathetic. Even if your plane is not the one that caused the accident or anything, you can't be there defending and saying it's not your plane that caused it, it's because fan did not put lights on the runway. No, you have to be empathetic, you have to have emotional intelligence. Psychologically, you have to be able to put 2 and 2 together, and and be able to calculate things really fast, because at some point you have to take decisions like really, really fast. Academic wise, I think I've spoken a lot about that. Now, how is it going for me? I'm still learning. Like I said to you, every year I try to develop myself and learn something new. I make sure I learn something new every year. This year, I'm going to take another course again, and I will not stop, because in this industry, you have to keep learning. I'm still growing. As I'm learning, I'm growing. I'm also networking, expanding my network beyond, what I have now. And I'm learning also to be listening. I listen to people who have gone ahead of me, people in this journey who are doing well. I listen to them, learn what they did right, what they did wrong. A lot of time I always ask them, what were the things you did wrong, before I hear the good part, so that those are the things that I can use to prevent myself from getting into those traps. So seek guidance as well. Very, very important. And don't burn bridges. Don't hurt the fingers that fed you, even if it's a tight, difficult situation. Don't burn bridges, don't hurt the fingers that fed you. Always watch out for people, who also care so much about you and your career. Even at work, don't try to make a colleague feel bad. Don't throw people under the bus. Think of a better way of how you can deal with the situation than, doing that. Like I said, it's public relation is the art of storytelling. And if you don't tell your story, somebody else will. With that, I come to the end of this presentation. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn on the screen, and I apologize for taking a lot of your time. I just wanted to do this right as an opportunity to impact the lives of, university students who are trying to pursue a career in public relations, by sharing my story and my journey of how I moved from a student to becoming a professional. Thank you very much for listening, and I'm here for your questions. Over to you, Yetunde.
Thank you very much, Taye. That was a wonderful session. And I've learned, one thing that keeps resonating as a PR professional is you are important, and everybody around you is actually important. So that driver, you seem to think, oh, he's just a driver. He's not just a driver. As a PR professional, you have to treat everybody importantly. And I also learned that you have to volunteer. Volunteering is an awesome way. I started out my journey as a PR professional volunteering. Even despite I have experience writing and all, but I started out my journey officially volunteering. And I wish I knew this when I was in the university. I was always reclusive. I always keep to myself. Don't be surprised now I am talking. I am very verbal. I wasn't this way when I was in the university. And a lot of times when I need something now, I can call some of my classmates. But assuming if I had built a much more concrete relationship, perhaps, who knows, we could have a much more intimate relationship where I can easily go to them. And that is it. And community, I mean, community is key. You don't want to walk this whole career path alone. You need people to hold you by your hands to guide you through. That's my own key points to take home and to ruminate on. That is it for me. I would like any of our participants who is willing to share with us what their take home has been from this program. Thank you. I think I will have to call people. So, Sulaiman, Miriam, what has been your take home from this program? If you're here with us, please unmute and share with us.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly, Sulaiman, Miriam.
The program is really enlightening. Like, I've always wanted to be in this kind of space, but then I've not really had the opportunity. But this, I don't regret being here. Like, I'm not really a public speaker. Let me just put it as a public speaker. I'm not really a public speaker. I just want to work in the background. I want to take part in anything that just involves creativity only. I don't even want to like venture into anything that relates to broadcast or something. But this program has like enlightened me. You don't have to like concentrate in just one aspect of the profession. You have to have a broad knowledge of every other aspect because you don't know which one is going to come to play. And I just realized that I've wasted so much time that I could have used in gaining more knowledge, like the volunteering you spoke of, and the intern. Though now we are on internship, like our normal COS. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hello?
I understand you. Yes, I understand you, Miriam.
So now we are on COS, which is going to end very soon. And with this program now, I feel like there's a need to go for more internship. Like there's a need to go for more internship. There's a need to build social networks, and there's a need to talk to people more, to see people above the way they truly are, and not to just disregard people anyhow. And you need to read and have vast knowledge of things because we don't know which one would come to play. Like I've learned a lot, and I'm thrilled. I'm really thrilled with this program. I'm happy I'm here.
Wow, that's a great view. Ifekoya, do you mind sharing with us what you've learned from highest? Okay, since then we move to the next session, which is the question and answer session. So if you have any question, before we move to the question and answer session, so I am dropping in the comment section, in this chat box rather, a link where you can drop your review about the program. What you think about Kai's presentation. I remember I said feedback is a genuine thing. It's a key part you don't want to miss as a PR professional. So please drop your feedback on what you think about Kai's session and what you've learned. Encourage her, and motivation is key. If you get people to praise you and tell you how well you're doing, you're motivated to do more. So please share your feedback with us, what you think about today's session. And now we move fully to the question and answer segment of the program. If you have any question, please you can unmute now and ask your question. And I'm certain any member of the community any member of the speakers will answer. Thank you. Number 14. Do we have any question? Does anybody have any question? Anybody from the audience? Miriam, Pomile, Adura, Demi, do you have any questions for our speakers? Please unmute yourself to share with us. Thank you. So then, if we don't have any question, I think I'll ask a question. So, okay. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Pomile. But if you have any question, there'll be a replay of the program on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search Nigerian Women in PR. You can actually get it. Okay, you have questions before the meeting. Have your questions be answered? If not, please unmute or drop in the chat box. I'll read it out your questions. Pamela, do you still have any question you would like us to prefer answer to? Okay, in absence of any question, I would like Ifekoya to unmute and to briefly give us a summary of what she has learned from the program.
Yes. Good afternoon. Really interesting. I must say that I think I was able to apply to some of the things I did this day. I learned that you should always follow your dream, starting from when she said she did not complete her HND, or she did not do her HND in school, and she followed her dream and all of that. And don't let anyone ever tell you don't follow your dreams. As far as you pray to God and you believe that you can do it, then you'll be able to do it. I think that's a whole lot of things to hold on to. Thank you so much for that.
That said, I think, okay, Miriam is asking. Okay, thank you so much, Ifekoya, for that.
I also have a question. I also have a question as well.
Okay, please go ahead with your question.
Okay. So moving on, I want to ask if we are to engage our audience on Instagram. Okay, let's imagine I own a business page and I am doing buy one and get one free. Do you think it is a good strategy to engage my audience, or it's a bad one to do? Do you think I need to put buy one free and get one, or buy something and get something free? And do you think I really need celebrity endorsements to promote my business to my audience on Instagram? Hi, I don't know if you got my questions.
Would you like me to answer, or Eunice?
I'm fine with anyone who answers a question.
Okay, if I got you right, you were saying that.
If I get
Go ahead, Yetunde, please.
I didn't get you clearly. Ifekoya, can you please come back? I didn't get your question.
Okay. So I said, let's us imagine I own a business online and I'm trying to engage my audience. Is it a good strategy for me to ask them to buy a product from me and in return they get something free? That was my first question. And my second question is it necessary for me to get a celebrity or an influencer to influence my products to allow for the audience to buy it? Is it really necessary? And do you think it is good to always do that celebrity endorsement for my products? That was what I asked for.
Okay.
I hope that was clear enough.
Yes,
should I
that's
take
clear.
it again?
Thank you. Taye, do you want to answer this question, please?
Okay, so first and foremost, it depends on what the strength or the capacity of your business. But for PR, it's always good not to start your business on that note, because you would create a trend for people to always expect that every time they buy, they get something free. And there's something about consistency in PR, about branding. There has to be consistency in your brand. I think what you can do is to tap into seasonal periods to do those kind of promotions for your business, because you are just a startup business that is growing. You have not really expanded your business to the point where you know that those free things that you give will not affect your profit or your investment or your return on investment. So it's good to do those. For a start, maybe you want to do like a tasting thing just to get people acquainted to your product, to know what you do and all of that. If you can afford it and it's something that will not affect your capital or your profit, then why not? I mean, you do it because it will pull people to your brand. It's more like doing a pull and push kind of marketing strategy for your business. So, I mean, if it's something that will not affect your profit and your capital, that will still keep the business running, then why not do it? In terms of, on the question on celebrity endorsement, like I always say to people that building organically is always very good. I'm not saying don't use celebrities. That's like the in thing, what reigns, endorsements and all of that. But sometimes these likes or these followers are people that they bought over. They might actually not even be the target market. So for you that you are building your brand organically, you are actually reaching out to your main target, like people who actually find a need for your product and they use it. I mean, sometimes we are deceived by the numbers. Say, oh, this person has 1 million followers, so you have only 200 followers. Well, if those 200 followers are faithful and ardent, they buy your product, they stay true to your product, and your business is going. What is the problem with having 1 million followers that most of them are bought and don't need your
Okay, Taye. Okay, Taye, thank you very much for that. So my contribution, I would advise Ifekoya. So technically, it's not really advisable for a brand. So for most brands that do buy one get one, you're winning people, true. But how are you so sure about the quality of the people you're winning? Because most people would join and get those things just for the products. But you want to think about when we coming, like will they come back? Consistency. How are they consistent with patronizing your brand? That is it. And also influencer marketing. Yes, influencer marketing is one strategy to get a business out there. But however, you want to think about how is this influencer you're using? Is it related? Does this influencer have anything to do with your industry? So let me cite a scenario. I am in say I'm in health. I am in healthcare industry. A suitable influencer to use is like apropos doctor and the likes. But if I'm using someone like Pisayo, who is a tech influencer, I most likely will not be getting any ROI on my strategy because he does not have any solid lead. So you want to put that into consideration before using any influencer. That's one key thing you want to look out for, and you want to look out for the quality of leads they'll be generating after the whole engagement. So,
Okay,
Family has a question.
Okay, so I also wanted to say that in public relations, we don't do things because everyone else is doing. We're always strategic about, our actions, and it should be aimed at a result, my end result, the bottom line here. So as a startup business owner, our advice, or I'll also add to the advice that you've already gotten, that you should build your brand first, get people to relate or feel comfortable with your brand, to trust you. When people start trusting you, okay, in your brand and in what you're selling, they will comfortably buy. They will not only buy, but they will refer people to you. So it's very important that you build the brand, make sure that they trust you. They trust that, oh, what this person is selling is what it really is. It's not be that you're fake and all. So it's very important that you build your brand, you make people comfortable with you and trust you. When they trust you, they will always refer you to others. You don't need to go out and get bot audience who will not really do much for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I think I understand. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's in there.
Thank you so much. As a question here, and I would like to need a CV. Ty, you intend to be need a CV. Ty, you can go first. Thank you. Eunice, if you can hear me, please answer your question.
Pardon, what did you say?
Miriam is asking, do I need a CV to work as an intern?
Sure, you need a CV to work as an intern. You need to, interning in an organization, yes, you need a CV. You don't have to just work in there because it's a professional setting. You have to present something for them to hold on to. That.
Eunice, you're talking and we can't hear you.
You cannot hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay, I said that you need a CV. You need some sort of, presenting yourself. Okay, you said you're from a school. Okay, what do you have to show for it? So it's a way of is an official, write-up for people to know, okay, this is what we can actually fall back to. So it's very important that you send your CV. And of course, some people can actually refer you to, okay, go here and work, even though you still need to send your CV. And so you have to write your CV. Of course, they will know that you're not a professional yet. They won't expect so much, but it's important that you send in your CV. So you have to start gathering some. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. So your first step into the door. So how do there is a need for you to have a CV? Put in your volunteering experience. Oh, I wrote somewhere here, I was a member of this organization. You can put that into your CV and you can share it out. Yes, to work anywhere, even despite having a referral, you need a CV for us access. Thank you. Miriam, I hope I answered your question. And if we have any other question, please raise it.
Yes, thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. Do we have any other question? Any other question? Where can I volunteer? Where can I intern? Do we have any question as that, please?
Yes, please.
Please ask your question. Thank you.
So you spoke of where can I volunteer? Where can I intern? That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, Eunice, do you want to answer the question? I guess Tai had some issues with internet connection. She is no longer on the call. So Eunice, can you please answer the question?
Okay, sure. So first off, like during my presentation, I said you can look out for organization that resonates with your own value. Okay, different people, different organizations out there have their value, have what have their objective and everything. So you, like I said, after knowing what you want in public relations, you can also put out your CV to these organizations. And of course, Nigerian Women in PR is a very wonderful organization for you to volunteer. It's all about public relations, inspiring people, to join the profession. So it's a very good place for you, but then it is not something that you're forced to. Okay, so you look out for an organization that resonates majorly on your values, what you really are looking out for. So basically, that's what I would say.
Thank you so much for that. And to also add, you can as well volunteer with Nigerian Women in PR. You can reach out to intern, and also to know some organizations actually put out vacancies and applications. They put out notice for application as an intern. You want to seek out such opportunities. First thing, note that it has to resonate with your own plan. Let it be in line with what you plan for yourself and for your career. Then you can reach out to them to be an intern. And I'm very sure it's a very good start to your career as a PR professional. Thank you. So do we have any other question, please?
You're muted, Yetunde.
My bad. I'm so sorry. I never knew I was muted. So in absence of any question, I would be dropping a link. We've come to the end of the summit. However, I'll be dropping a link to for us to give reviews about what we think about the program. What do you think? What do you think we can do better for this summit, and how do you think we can improve? So I would be dropping the link to right about now in the chat box. Please use them and let's help us improve as professionals. Let's know where we need to grow, where we need to make amends. Miriam, your hands is up. Do you have any question? Miriam, Suleiman, Miriam, your hands are up.
Yeah, I want to ask can name of Nigerian Women in Public Relations, if we follow you on any social media platform, we can as well message you there, right?
Yes, you can actually reach out to us on all social media platforms at Nigerian Women in PR, at NG Women in PR. You can reach out to us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram account. And we also have an email address, ngwomeninpr@gmail.com. If you have any question, any feedback, anything, you can also reach out to us there. So you can follow us on our social media platforms for more conversation and more, we put out content that would help you grow as a PR professionals as a peer professional, rather, things you need to know as a peer professional, and a lot of things to help you grow in your career as a peer professional. So right about
All right, thank you very much.
You're muted, Yetunde.
my bad, I'm so sorry. So right about now, I have dropped in the chat box link for you to review, give feedback on Taye and Eunice's uh session, and also to give feedback on the summit as a whole. With that being done, please use the link and give us feedback. Let us know where we need to improve, and what you think about the summit. If it's a good one, if you would recommend, and if you wish we come back to you, Ilorin, for this summit sometime soon, please let us know. And right about now, we have come to the end of the program. Thank you very much for staying this far. I am definitely sure you've learned one or two, and you would implement them as you go by in your career journey. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Eunice, for granting us, for joining us, and thank you very much, Sai, for joining us too. You're deeply grateful, and we appreciate this. We appreciate your time. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate your time, and we've come to the end of the program. Have a wonderful weekend, and have a blissful new week.
Thank you so
much.
much. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
It was a privilege. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.